This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friends and I get together and we gorge ourselves on what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by me accidentally putting my keyboard on the back of my couch and then dropping my head onto it. And also Patreon. That's Patreon.
That's patreon.com/thegorge.
Where for just $5 a month, you gain access to not one, but two entire podcasts. $5 gets you takeout, a monthly commentary track where we don't feel like playing anything, so we talk over it instead. $2 is the grab bag tier. You can see everything else. $10 gets you pictures of my dogs, which is why you should just do the $10 tier. Have you thought about it? Have you thought about
it's worth it?
$10 a month? It gets you all that other shit and also exclusive dog pics. Because
And
I don't have an OnlyFans.
You're getting a bargain because I would pay $10 just for the dog pictures.
That's right.
I might have to start adding my dog pictures to dog things because
you should.
Here's my teaser, and I guess I'll take a photo at some point in the intervening couple days. My dog's just got a haircut, and I get them cut their haircut short because it's Florida summer. And the thing is, Prince looks very graceful with a short cut. Bowie looks stupid as hell.
Do they still have their bandanas on?
No, because the groomer I have doesn't do that.
Aw, that's tragic.
It's a mobile groomer, right? And she got cut overhead wherever she can. I think also it would be we've been working with this lady for probably 5 or 6 years now, and the amount of bandanas we would have from her at this point would be farcical.
Yeah. My current dog groomer does not put a bandana on Diva either, which is tragic.
I feel like that's a crime in Alabama.
You'd think,
to not
but this is a big city dog groomer, not a country dog groomer.
Okay.
So they don't believe in the sacredness of putting a cute post grooming bandana on your dog.
Country dog groomer, baby boomer, Oklahoma has the Sooners.
This is the kind of quality content you get if you pay for the podcast. That's patreon.com/thegorge. I brought it back around.
That's right. Good job.
Thank you. What are we doing? Is this just a roundup?
Right, yeah, nothing special going on here. Did anyone do anything at all?
I started playing CyberPunk again.
Yippee!
Yeah.
That game is good as hell. That game continues to be good as hell. The problem is that I really wanted to have it done sooner than later. And then the Mothman Equinox came back in Fallout 76.
So
yeah.
So all that talk last week about escaping from 76.
Yeah.
Todd just crossed his arms and went, "Bitch, you fought."
Bitch, you fought.
Sarah stood at the edge of the lake.
Yep.
And she tossed her cell phone into the lake to signify that she was getting out of the business to go back to her family.
Right.
And then immediately turned around and dove back into that lake to get that phone back because there's a lot of important contacts on that phone.
Well, Ben, as you know, it's not a lake, it's an ocean.
An
ocean of content.
Sarah did take the sword from King Arthur and said, "Don't worry, King, I will return this to the lady in the lake," and then proceeded to hang on to it for several hundred years.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Todd just coming through the doorway, just clapping his hands, just dusting himself off, going, well. Look who's the Todd coward now.
The problem is that Mothman Equinox has a bunch of exclusive shit in it. I have to do it.
And they only do it 2, maybe 3 times a year tops.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I've got to do it. I will play Cyberpunk this weekend and get back to it because that game is good as hell.
It's a really good game.
It's a really good video. It's just fun to play. We've talked about it before, but they unfucked that game so hard that it's really fun now.
Oh yeah, it and Baldur's Gate 3 are the only 2 games I can think of where I'm constantly just sitting around I need to do an entire 50 to 100 hour playthrough as this, and I have 3 of those in mind.
Absolutely.
If I had a nickel for every time a notoriously bad first person game came out at launch, but then over the years fixed itself and I became obsessed with it, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
That's correct.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I just love that game. I think it's good. Even like base game shit, I think some of it's kind of whack, but some of it is like good. Yeah, I haven't finished the main quest yet because I'm also lollygagging on finishing Phantom Liberty because I'm just having too much fun kind of tooling around doing side quests and gigs and shit, right?
I think the thing that like really helps sell even the kind of janky bad content of 2077 is that even if it is bad, you have V there to react to it, and their reaction is always good.
Just all the Johnny, like I did the dumb thing where I watched where I just watched a random BD offered to me by a weird guy on the street, and immediately woke up in an ice bath, about to be like harvested by the same scavengers that you kill at the beginning of the game, like that same gang. And Johnny just pops in like, it's my luck that I got stuck with the dumbest merc in Nike City. And it's like, shut up, Johnny. I was curious, okay? So yeah, I love it. It's still good. It's fun. The cool thing about Cyberpunk 2077 is that all of its side quests, like its little gigs and shit, are so bite-sized. And unfortunately, for somebody like me who has the Fallout sickness, that's perfect. To never get anything fucking done.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I will say, if you keep going at the rate you're going, it's going to bite you in the ass later when you only have MSQ left, and it's gonna, because there are multiple parts in Dogtown where it goes, you now have to wait an entire fucking week.
Well, I'm almost done with Dogtown, is the thing.
No.
Really?
You're about halfway through Act 2.
What?
Yeah.
What's the most recent quest you did, Sarah?
She just did the thing with the first time she met the twins.
I have to go to Farida's. I have to go to Farida's clinic now.
Yeah, you still have a bit of time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You've got.
Shit.
You're in the back half for sure, but there's still a lot to do.
Oh wow! I am actually shocked by that. I thought there was way less.
You're like 55% done.
Oh fuck! All right, fine. I'll get back to Dogtown. Yeah. I'll go back to Dogtown.
Yeah,
I'll go back to Dogtown.
Because there is also like the thing is like the longest of those breaks is before you get the actual like last mission of the thing.
Oh really?
So it's like it's completely okay to have some side stuff still on back burner because it will be making you wait a while before.
Okay.
Like there was a bit where I thought I had finished Phantom Liberty and I was like, huh, that's a kind of strange place to end that DLC, but it's got kind of like a Fallout quality to it, I guess. And I looked it up and it's like, no, you idiot, there's still a quest left. I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. Oh.
Fine, I'll go back to Phantom Liberty after all. Okay. So, but yeah, no, that's it. That's all I got. I like that game a lot.
Great entry in the vaunted list of potato chip video games.
Yes.
Oh yes, extremely
high quality potato chip video game. Like it's still potato chips, but it's them nice kettle cooked ones.
It's them really good like kettle like salt and pepper.
Yeah,
but it's like a local brand that has like a really nice flavor to it, you know.
And
like
every chip in that bag is like quadruple folded in on itself.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. The first time you bought one of those bags, it was stale, and everyone told you like, "Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. You should try it again. Give it another chance."
And then you give it another chance. You're like, "Oh wait, yeah,
wow, this was good."
Yeah. So, and that's kind of it. I talked about it very briefly on Twitter. I'm going to bring it up here because I have to talk about it somewhere. I have become obsessed with Napoleon Bonaparte's videos about MMA, a sport that I do not care about in the slightest, but much like baseball, is just filled to the teeth with like true absurd spectacles of humanity, right? Mm-hmm. And like he has a 4.5. It's a compilation of like multiple smaller videos, but you know, watch the full one. He has a 4.5 hour long video about the rise and fall of that reality show, The Ultimate Fighter. That like reduced me to tears at least twice. So, you should watch it. This is the second time, by the way, that I have recommended watching MMA content. But watch that and watch Fighting in the Age of Loneliness. Please.
Fighting in the Age of Loneliness is so good.
Fighting in the Age of Loneliness is genuinely good, and a lot of Napoleon Bonaparte's like channel feels adjacent to that, but like it is funnier. It is less of like the fucking, you know, parade of misery that Fighting the Age of Loneliness can be sometimes. But yeah, that's it. I highly recommend that channel. He has a shit ton of videos. They're all long, so you could, you know, you'll have something to listen to while you work for a long time.
Right.
He has these 2 really good videos about like fake martial arts that are great. About like con artists, martial artists, and like, you know, the guy who Bloodsport is based on a true story. Bloodsport is not based on a true story, right? But Frank Dux is a liar. And like, you know, he's got a video about how Aikido is fake. Sorry. And yeah, it's good. It's a great channel. I don't usually do YouTube recommendations, but that's a good YouTube recommendation. It's very good.
I feel like you should have an April Fool's video that is about how a completely legitimate martial art is fake. Just like, just like here's my 90-minute documentary proving that Taekwondo isn't real.
Here's my 800-minute documentary about how karate is fake, and that one guy who killed an ox by hitting it once in the head was completely fabricated.
I think he should do a video. Actually, this one probably isn't an April Fool's video, but you should just do a video about how Krav Maga is bullshit. It's not like the cool Israeli spec ops martial art that everybody likes to pretend it is. It just kind of fucking sucks. And yeah, it's just like it's another piece of fucking Mossad propaganda. So yeah, do a video on that about how fucking Krav Maga sucks ass.
If I were to do a video on a fake combat, I would just do a video on how Undertaker did actually come back to life that time. And I can prove it.
The thing I think about Krav Maga constantly, and I do think it's a Felix tweet, I could be mistaken, but is the thing, it was like some post about the effect about like Krav Maga guys always losing in MMA, and it's because they don't have their natural advantage, which is the drone airstrikes.
That's correct. They always lose in MMA because their opponent isn't like a 12-year-old who was just minding his own business, right? Yeah. So yeah, no. And yeah, no, I'm fascinated. The problem is that, like, speaking of Fighting in the Age of Loneliness, I can't, like, I like MMA stories, but, like, MMA kind of sucks these days. It got super corporatized, right? So, like, the time to watch MMA fights is over. Now you just kind of have to, like, enjoy it secondhand via other people, because it's not about a bunch of, like, fucking weirdo freaks beating the shit out of each other anymore. They're all wearing, like, sponsored boxers and shit like that. So, you know, it's not the same, which is a shame. So,
are there any MMA guys who are coming with their martial arts style being Bartitsu? Can we get a Bartitsu?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Baritsu is the
that's the Sherlock Holmes one, right?
Well, because the thing is, he wanted it to be Bartitsu. But he fucking didn't get he fucked up the name. He just didn't he was like, it's Baritsu, right? Because that sounds Japanese. It's not Bartitsu. That would be stupid. And meanwhile, Mr. Bart, who inventor of Bartitsu, is just crying.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, Saturn, you do know it was invented by a man named Edward William Barton Wright.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's why I'm making the joke. Is that fucking Ian Doyle is like, well, obviously it's Baritsu because that would make any amount of sense.
Because that's like that sounds kind of like an actual like Japanese word. It's
Bartitsu.
That's so funny. That's amazing. Okay. No, I wish there was though. That's really funny. That's all I got. That's basically all I've done. Fallout 76, Cyberpunk, and crying over MMA videos again. This keeps happening to me.
I've also just been running laps, the same laps I was running last week.
Yep.
I got to season 4 of Star Trek TNG.
Oh, that means you saw Best of Both Worlds.
Yes, I did.
Isn't it good?
That's really good.
It's great TV. And the follow-up episode where, like, Picard goes home and basically has, like, a mental breakdown about all of it is also great TV.
I know it's been said before, but, like, literally changed primetime television.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that an episodic show like Star Trek was like, no, we're gonna follow up on Picard's like PTSD.
Yeah, it's
Like,
great.
he's not over this. And also, yeah, Picard is terrible with children.
Yes, it is.
It's so funny.
It owns.
Have you gotten to the episode where he hangs out with his nephew?
Yeah, that is the episode. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That is.
Where he goes home and he sees his nephew and he's like, "Child, yes."
Hello, child. Allow me to quote Shakespeare at you. I think that you will
What?
absolutely not understand.
Okay, so I have two questions about that episode specifically.
Sure.
One is more of a comment, but the first one. But like, when it is just the shot of Picard like outside walking down like the road to his house, and it just plays the most "Holy Baguette Eiffel Tower" French music I've ever heard. Why are you playing that music and then everyone that he talks to is British?
I literally think there's a lore reason for that.
There is, actually. So
before we continue, I just wanted to say that the thing is, I'm sure there's good lore reasons for it. I feel like there is a certain contingent of European who would say that casting a British man to play a French man qualifies as a hate crime.
Yeah.
I think they might be right, honestly.
No, they're right. There's been a beef there for literally thousands of years.
Yeah.
Because like Picard, it's like, okay, well, yeah, he's obviously a very cultured man. He has spent more time in outer space than he has in France. His accent has obviously faded over time. That makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Then he goes to his Frenchman family, and they're all speaking British.
So part of it is the Picard family. It has been stated in World War II they escaped the homeland during the sacking of like Paris and whatever, and they lived in Britain, like Great Britain, for like 6 generations before moving back to their like homeland.
Also, very funny. I knew there's another reason for it too, though. Very funny. People just don't speak that much French in the 24th century.
Yeah, no.
So it is a utopia.
Yeah, they all speak Italian.
The French have been eradicated.
Wait, is that where the joke in Futurama comes from then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anytime Futurama throws like a really good gag at you that seems like weird science fiction, it's probably a Roddenberry joke.
It's Star Wars reference. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Star Wars, Star Trek, the other one. Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, Futurama is like 50% Star Trek and like 15% Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's way more Star Trek than Wars. That's for sure.
Well, because Star Trek is sci-fi and Star Wars is not, and it's like there's not really a lot of room for fantasy and
it's Asian mysticism in space.
Yeah, exactly.
The most recent episode I finished is the one where an alien child tricks Riker into thinking he's lost 16 years of his life.
Great episode.
Yeah, that one.
Fantastic episode.
Riker.
I love every episode of Star Trek where someone gets sent to the fucking torment nexus.
It's great, yeah.
There is a very famous episode of Deep Space Nine, and I won't say anything else about the circumstances around it, but there is a very famous Torment Nexus episode of Deep Space Nine, so look forward to that one.
Is it the one I've seen, or is it a later one?
How to say... I mean, which one have you seen? How to say this without spoiling Ben at all?
It's everyone's most beleaguered character.
Yes.
Put in the worst. Put in a what I would describe as the peak of a paranoid anxiety nightmare, but real.
Yeah. No.
That's a different.
Torment Nexus.
I'm so excited to get to Deep Space Nine.
All you need to know about and this is not a spoiler. All you need to know about Deep Space Nine is that one of the things that they mandated while writing the show was that O'Brien must suffer.
Good. Because I love O'Brien.
Well, that's exactly
like
it, man.
twice,
It's because
right?
because they're like, O'Brien's an everyman. He's very working class, normal, but like he's likable. He doesn't have a whole lot of flaws really, aside from just being a little bit crass. And because he's such a likable everyman, it means that he has to suffer.
He's got to.
Things have to go wrong for him because he doesn't really have anything wrong with him.
Right. Miles Edward O'Brien has to suffer because otherwise he's just like a good guy. He loves his wife. He loves his kids. Like, he's a good dude. And that's why his life has to be extremely hard. So,
I'm excited to eventually see what this other Torment Nexus episode
There's
is.
another very famous Miles Edward O'Brien Torment Nexus episode.
I do also want to say that I am currently on a pace of at least one episode a day of the Next Generation.
So
and I am only partway through season 4.
And worth noting, you started with 3.
Yes,
you did the normal person thing in the year of our Lord 2020 something. Of I watched the pilot and went, I think I'll skip ahead to the part where the show's good, and then you did that.
Yeah, and I'm still only just getting to like the halfway point, not even the halfway point of season 4.
Again, it's incredible how much TV you've got. It owns. It's so good.
Are the movies good?
No.
Okay.
So my understanding is that some of them are, like the really early ones for TNG are like pretty okay. Like Wrath of Khan is a classic for various and sundry reasons. But like most of them are bad.
It goes through, so there's a very specific rule that's always been known for Trekkies the even ones are good, the odd ones are bad.
That's correct.
Okay.
Wrath of Khan is an original series movie and it is good. The movie that came immediately after is bad.
Search for Spock.
Search for Spock is
I thought
terrible.
Wrath of Khan was original series.
Yes, Wrath of Khan is original series. That's the movie that kills Spock.
Spoilers.
Terrible. Yeah, I know, right? Spoilers.
Well, no, spoilers for the original series.
Well, I mean, movie 3 is called The Search for Spock, so it obviously doesn't stick around. And plus, Spock has been name dropped in TNG.
No.
And the Undiscovered Country, which is 4, is decent. Like people say it's okay.
Is that the time travel one?
I think so, if I remember right. That's the one where they end up in 1980s.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything past Search for Spock. So, yeah.
Nemesis is okay, and
that one's got Sexy Borg Queen in it.
Yes. Actually, she's in all 3 movies.
Is she?
Mm-hmm. They change her actress, I think, each time.
That makes sense.
Because, Borgs.
Yeah, of course. Voyager was like, we can have sexy Borg ladies, and the movies were like, we can have sexy Borg ladies. And then they did. They ran with it.
Voyager's a great show if you like sexy Borg ladies.
Yes.
I will say that everyone is like contentious about how they all end, but if you're still itching specifically for the Next Generation, the 3 movies are all kind of post-epilogue stories, and they all link into each other. So if you are craving more of Picard and Data and Geordi, just watch those.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Other standouts, speaking of Picard being bad with children, there is also, I saw the episode where he has to deal with a 14-year-old military-obsessed incel who screams whenever he's near a woman.
I remember that one.
Which one is this one?
So they pick up a survivor from a not Cardassian, but they were fighting. They were on a proxy war with some other alien group, and they pick up a 14-year-old human boy who was adopted by their commander.
Oh yeah, I know that episode.
I remember that episode.
Yeah, now I remember.
And then I also got to see, mercifully, Picard never did interact with Worf's son. At least in the first episode.
Don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
He goes out of his way to avoid him anytime that happens.
But it's incredible. One of the best things about watching this much Star Trek that I have watched now is watching the evolution of the Klingon facial prosthetics go from very, very bad to actually quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Because little baby Alexander, They did that boy wrong. They put way too much. They put too much. Like, I remember you sent us a picture of it, and you were like, "He looks like a little man," and he does.
He looks like a little old man.
He looks like a little
He
old
looks,
man.
yeah, he looks like which is it's an accurate description of Worf and Alexander, but he just looks like the meme of "Don't talk to me or my son ever again."
Yeah.
He looks like a
Absolutely.
grown man squat down. It's also I think the same thing with Worf though, where it's like he looks like Worf, but the instant you take all those horrible facial prosthetics and fake facial hair off of him or whatever, like Michael Dorn's a very handsome looking man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Michael Dorn is very handsome. Yes.
And it's like, but like you just put all that shit on him, and now he's a Klingon, and he looks like a ghoul, and like you just can't do anything about that. Like that's just how it makes you look.
His crazy fake teeth.
Yeah, I love whenever you see a Ferengi or a Klingon with fake teeth, because they go all out with those fake teeth.
Yeah, them
They
teeth
do.
are fucked up. Yeah.
Those are gnarly.
I will say by the end of TNG, they do get a really good like hang of how to get the prosthetics right on the Klingons, because you'll see like you're not going to notice it from episode to episode, but if you get to Fistful of Data and then go back, you'll be like,
Oh.
I forgot Alexander used to look
Yeah,
like idiots.
it gets much better
Yeah.
over time. They definitely perfect that art. Thank God.
I also really like whenever they do an episode where Data acts weird because enough time has passed that they need Brent Spiner to do something.
Yeah, they need him to like he wants to like do actual acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
Like,
I don't
we're
want to act
gonna-
like this all the time.
We're gonna have an episode where Lore shows up, or Data becomes a musketeer in a holodeck.
Please, God, I cannot wait for you to get to a fistful of Data. It's the best episode in the series.
It's so good.
Hands down, it's the best episode in the whole show.
Sarah skipped out on like an entire like half of a shift of work to watch it.
I
with me.
literally, because like she wasn't working, so and I realized what episode she was starting, and I was like, I can sneak away from work for about 50 minutes, and I did, and it was worth every second of it.
It's so good.
It's a great episode, 10 out of 10.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited to get to that.
It's real late in the series, but I promise it's worth it.
It's like one of the last 10 episodes, I think, of season 7.
Yeah,
if I
6 or
remember
7,
right.
one or the other. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, obviously, I have not found an episode that I wanted to skip. There have been some that I thought were better or worse, but like, I have not been like, oh, this is bad, I'm not going to watch this anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to keep watching more of that. The only other thing I really did besides more Star Trek and 76 and all that, and a bit more Fallout London, is I got back to Unicorn Overlord.
Oh.
Oh, good
And
for you.
when I booted Unicorn Overlord up for the first time, I realized I had stopped playing Unicorn Overlord in the midst of a battle. And so I boot back in, I load up my save, and I'm like surrounded by like 5 or 6 units. And I'm like, oh shit, what was I doing? Okay, I think I can pull this out. I think I can recover from this.
So good.
I remember what my plan was. And I spent like an hour trying to piece together what my plan of attack was. Get to the last fortress I need to seal, and my power goes out.
Oh.
And that was almost enough for me to stop playing Unicorn Overlord. But when I started it back up, I had realized that there was a mid-battle cutscene that happened, and that counted as an autosave.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Well, this is that.
So I did lose some content, but not all of it.
Okay.
And I'm continuing to go through that and really, really enjoying Unicorn Overlord. It's a fantastic game. I miss 13 Sentinels. I wish they would make another 13 Sentinels. I wish
they could put those games on PC, those freaks.
I wish Unicorn Overlord would have a 13 Sentinels twist in it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my understanding is that Unicorn Overlord is the world's first video game with no writing in it.
No, Saturn's not wrong. Because I mean, there's plot, to be sure.
But there's no writing.
but it's so Fire Emblem Three Houses, for instance, like we're all familiar with that one. Like that has a very dynamic narrative to it, right? There's a lot happening in there.
It's a great video game, absolutely.
Yeah. Unicorn Overlord is not that.
Okay.
It is mostly a lot of you getting into skirmishes with the evil empire and like recruiting a person who helps you out. And that's kind of it.
I also can't attest to this, but I have heard from friends of mine who've played it who like have the Japanese voices on, but are like still have the English localization. Man, oh man, it's the Dragon Ball Z movie effect where the English localizers just kind of have to do a lot of work to add flavor that simply isn't there in the original.
Oh no.
There's a lot of direct translations and like the localization where it's like, oh yeah, you did a lot of uppercuts to this script. There's punching up and then there's just like Mortal Kombat uppercuts.
Yeah, doing fucking shoryukens. Yeah.
Wake up DPs to the script.
Yeah.
I still got to get to that game. I do actually own it, by the way. I was able to finally secure a copy of it because it went on sale at one point. I'm like, oh, finally, I found a copy that isn't just not going to my GameStop being like, hey, do you have Unicorn Overlord? And they just look me dead in the eyes and go, no.
It's definitely a very good game. Like, there's like besides the plot kind of being kind of like absent, it's very good. The characters are all very fun and interesting. They do a cool thing with it. It feels a lot of the decisions in this game feel like a response to Fire Emblem. They're like, like we know you're coming from Fire Emblem, so we don't need to explain how this works. You should already know, but here's our twist on it, right?
Okay.
And that makes sense because I think Fire Emblem and like there's other like triangle strategy too. Like there is like it is kind of the normative model of like a Japanese SRG at this point, right?
But they do like for like their supports, for instance, are really cool in that like because they're very the support cutscenes are very limited between characters. Like there's like 70 plus characters. Not everyone's getting a support with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But because of that, you still get support points and support benefits if you have characters who are in the same squad. They just don't get a cutscene.
I see.
So like you can level up their relationship and you'll get like a bonus like, oh yeah, well now they'll do more damage or like they have a higher crit chance.
Yeah.
They just don't have a little thing where they talk about their problems.
Okay.
But
sadly, it is to me the main selling point of Fire Emblem Three Houses that they had to do a Shadow the Hedgehog video game thing. It's like, no, we have a bespoke epilogue for every combination of shipping that your psychopathic mind can cook up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But because there's no permadeath in Unicorn Overlord,
that's true. They can actually be in the plot.
When you do a support cutscene, other characters can show up in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Shining Force.
Yeah, so it's a little bit less like supports and more like unlocking skits.
I hold the opinion that I think in the future when they do more mainline Fire Emblem games, permadeath should probably just be an alternate mode that doesn't have cutscenes.
Yeah, I think so.
It's still a campaign, but there's no story, and it's just like, no, we're just gonna write around it.
Yeah, like an arcade mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can write more interesting stories when you don't have to account for any given character in the story possibly being dead.
Or you just do the thing that Awakening did, which is you can turn off permadeath and characters just become incapacitated and
but the thing is, like, because it's an option, they still have to write around it.
Yeah. Like, the fact that it can become an option at all means they have to navigate it. And
which
I think you just need to get rid of it, honestly.
Yeah, I think like their permadeath should be this character is now incapacitated and cannot fight, but they're still alive and they can be in the cutscene.
Sure. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it'll work. It should just be like, because they've historically only reserved it for like super, like it happens to Crom, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah. Because like you literally can't have the plot of Fire Emblem Awakening without Crom, period.
Mm-hmm.
But it should just be like the default standard for every character in a Fire Emblem game. Because,
yeah, I think that's a perfectly fine idea where it's just like, oh, they've been so grievously injured that they can't fight anymore, right?
Yeah.
Just say that.
It's a very medieval fantasy thing to get maimed in a battle and like you don't die, but like you like they took off like 2 of my fingers. I can't hold a sword anymore.
Right, exactly.
Fucked up. If you wanted to get really saucy, they never would because it's too cool, but you could have alternate portraits. Then again, I feel like a lot of people would angle for that.
Yeah,
that's why they should do it.
I want to see the GDQ speed run of all party members maimed percent.
I love that idea. Then you have and then you do your Fallout New Vegas Yes Man route, where like a handful of them are magically enabled to be incapacitated, so you can actually play the video game.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Unicorn Overload, I'm loving it, and I'm excited to play more of that and hopefully finish it before the end of the year so I can talk about it in a Game of the Year.
Yippee!
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. Anyone else have anything?
My week is pretty brief. Much like Sarah, I have been held by the siren song of Fallout 76 due to the arrival of the Mothman. Been doing some of that. That's still a good bebopping around MMO. You know, even when you don't have a whole lot to do, it's still just like, I can plink around, look at people's camps, do some building. You know, I'm still trying to plink away at my big spooky Mothman church camp. Making minor adjustments to that as you do. Also, I have repeated the sins of the past, which is to say, I started Fate Stay Night. I finished the prologue, and that was like 2-3 days ago, and I have not picked it up since. Not for quality. I think the new translation is actually very good so far, even like comparing just the prologue to like the fan translation of the prologue. Like, the localizer, and this is like to me why I like never really go for fan translations if I can help it, and always try and do the like official professional localizations, is that localization is a professional creative skill because you have to like do a lot of work to take something that is written in Japanese and not just translate it to English, but make it sound good in English.
Yes, to make it coherent in English,
or to like, and even more than coherence, because like the more recent fan translation I played was like it was coherent enough, sure, but like to make it sound like it was written artfully, right, and not just like, because I think a lot of thing is like a lot of fan translations of Japanese text, even when they're accurate and coherent, can come off as very like mechanical, just because like those languages do not translate to each other very cleanly, and that's just and like being very blunt and literal is just the best way to do it. And so it's
that's why I have a hard time getting into light novels, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a hard thing to translate.
I tried reading the light novel version of Fate Zero, and you know what? I thought it was dog shit.
Yeah, because that translation is hard to do. Like, I really it's hard to translate like you said, artfully, to like make it sound like a book you would want to read.
It's one thing to translate dialogue, it's another thing to translate literature.
Yeah.
And ends up being like a huge part of the reason why I was able to like get really into Umineko, for instance, is because like the people who all came together to localize that script really did a tremendous job actually writing that VN like it's literature. Like it's English literature specifically.
Absolutely.
And like it comes off very well, and as a result, like it feels like it was written in English even though it wasn't. And so it makes it a lot easier to consume. Mostly though, the only reason I stopped is because like even though I haven't like seen the Saber route, and even though there's tons of stuff in UBW and Heaven's Feel that I haven't seen because they just weren't in the adaptations, it is just hard to glue in for a 60-hour visual novel when you know most of what happens already.
Oh, sure. I understand completely.
But I mean, that's basically been my week. Not a whole lot else to talk about there.
I do think I want to say one. I haven't played it myself, but I do think it's interesting that the new localization has a lot more vulgarity.
Sure.
Than the original translation.
It has Shiro swearing more, and I guess it's because he's a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah.
So.
Just very funny to see Shiro say fuck and be like, you can't say that, you're a good boy.
No, it's okay, you can say fuck.
If anybody in Fate should be allowed to say fuck, it's Shiro Emiya. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's very funny they took the fucking out of Fate Stay Night, but then put a new kind of fuck in Fate Stay Night.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, like, I read some of his dialogue and I was like, oh yeah, that does actually make a lot of sense. He would be kind of crass because, like, he is being, like, he's a very hostile kid.
Also,
Yeah.
he was raised by Kuritsugu.
Yeah.
He was raised by Kuritsugu and also, like,
Taiga.
Taiga
Yeah.
and her Yakuza dad. Like,
You know, Taiga says fucking class constantly, and then has to go pretend you didn't hear
and
me say
everybody
that.
goes, Sensei, you can't say that.
And she goes, oh yeah, I say whatever the fuck I want.
The school board can never fire her though, due to her connections.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just picturing Taiga now entering the classroom doing the Yakuza thug leg kick walk that they use in every game.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I know she does. I know for a fact there's dialogue, I think, in UVW when you read the route where that has her coming to the class.
I mean, she's a Yakuza. She's a mob daughter,
Yeah.
of course.
She's a mob princess.
Isn't she also like famously an ass kicker herself? Like,
Yeah.
you know she's doing that Boncho strut.
She got banned from, I think, like 3 or 4 different tiers of kendo.
Yeah.
Great.
She's the coolest is the thing. We love her, okay?
We do.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my week.
Cool.
Mhm,
Oats?
Not a whole lot. I also have been doing Fallout 76 because
Mothman.
again, the Mothman event has rolled around. I forgot how much I love the Amish Vincent Price.
Oh, he's so good.
He's so fucking funny.
He's so good.
The voice work in that event is so funny. Also, like, all 3 of the attendants have their own voiceover, and there's this one, like, who's this, like, extremely psychopathic, like, Eastern European lady who's just there, who's really excited about you killing rad stags because of how good their blood smells.
Yeah.
That's a Saturn character if there ever was one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might just be how Pippi sounds.
I totally buy that. Yeah. That's a very funny event too. Just because, like, the other night when we were all doing it together, I could not find a fucking rad stag to save my life. And then when I was doing it just me and like 3 other people before I went to bed, I couldn't beat them off with a stick fast enough.
There's literally 20 of them spawned.
They just mobbed me.
You were the only one who turned it in, and you overfilled it with 5 more to go.
Yes, it was absurd. It was very funny. I don't know why, but I love that event.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. I am enjoying myself. I mean, events in Fallout are fun. It's just run around and shoot things, but you goof off with a bunch of weirdos and you make friends, and it's nice.
Yeah.
It's like perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of about it. Oh, I have officially installed downloaded and installed the Final Fantasy IX version of the Up-Res.
Yeah, nice.
We'll have to do that some.
It looks gorgeous.
Mhm.
And most importantly, it fixes, so like the Steam version, for whatever reason, does the same thing it did for the Final Fantasy VI re-release, which is to say use the Android UI whenever possible.
Weird.
So it's really disgusting looking.
Yes.
But they fixed that, so it looks like gorgeous looking up-res UI of the old PlayStation 1 stuff.
Great.
So
Okay.
it's just
Cool.
it's so pretty.
I'm really looking forward to that stream.
I'm excited. I think I don't know when I'm going to start that. Probably like next week when Mothman's starting to slow down a little bit, and we have run out of things to do for a little while.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really. I haven't even been playing much of Warframe, although that's partly because I'm just kind of waiting for the newest update that's supposed to happen next week. Nobody's talked about it. It's just really weird. Like, the devs are usually pretty transparent and more or less spoil what's going on for the next one. They haven't said anything about it, so I'm kind of curious to see where that's going to go. Yeah.
Mysterious indeed.
That's about it.
All right.
All right.
Hit us with the news.
So we've got something cool. This is all either good or fun news.
Oh, thank
Can
God.
Can I get then in because I don't want to like sucker punch the end of the podcast. Can I get one piece of late breaking news out of the way? That is
Go for
Yes,
it.
please.
The famous Amos sadly has passed away at the age of 88.
I did see that.
I did see that,
Rest in
yes.
peace to a king.
Rest in peace to the Cookie King. To the
Your
original
cookies-
Cookie Kahuna was his Instagram.
Your
See?
your cookies were perfect for hot chocolate.
That's right.
I've never had them because they never traveled that far west.
They're like little
I've
just
seen them
like
all-
bagged cookies. They're
Yeah.
delicious.
I've seen
They
them.
are-
They never made it my way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
They're good, they're small, and they're crispy, and you get like a whole bunch in that bag.
Yeah,
I have not
they're
had
very
them
good.
since I was in elementary school, but it is like the food you could give me that would reactivate childhood memory.
It's
yeah.
like eating a big Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, they're basically
Yes.
giant Cookie Crisps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
I
Mhm.
can kind of picture that. Okay. All right.
I'd love a cookie right now.
Yeah.
Later.
Later. So, D3 2024, every movie and series announced and shown at this year's fan event. It's all sequels, baby!
Just an utter, just completely and totally creative bankruptcy. Like,
It's all sequels and
Incredible.
live action remakes.
I've never been more stunned to just see, like, just one after another, just sequels to shit that don't need sequel. Toy
Mhm.
Story 5, Frozen 3, like,
Toy Story 5 is so funny to me because they just gave up on Toy Story
gave up.
4.
they gave up. They super gave up. And I'm just like, man, okay. But I mean, it's I'm just like stunned by how, I guess I shouldn't be stunned.
No,
but
you
I
should, at this
am.
point, you should not be stunned.
But I am, because like I was a Disney kid and like Disney was good for so long, and it's just like the nosedive it has taken is insane.
I never thought we would get an opportunity to see another Disney Dark Age happen.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so excited.
this is like such a and it's like the last Disney Dark Age was like, it was dog shit, and also it didn't make any money, and this is like probably gonna make money, but like for how long? Who can say? Like,
Well-
Frozen will probably make $1 billion. Frozen 3 is going to make $1 billion.
We're
Sorry.
still.
But what if
we're
it
still
doesn't?
I
we're-
might.
We're still in the section of that Disney Dark Age where they're doing a peanut.
Excuse me. Anyways, continue.
We're still in that part of the Dark Ages where like all they're doing is using xerosography
Yeah.
to just like funnel out as cheaply as possible. We haven't gotten to the Fox and the Hound and then the Black Cauldron yet, where all of a sudden it nosedives.
But that shit, those are good. Like, those movies are okay. Well, the Black Cauldron isn't good, but the Fox and the Hound is good.
It's decent, but it did not. It was modest at best in the box office. So that's
Mhm.
kind of where like
Yeah, but I mean, like,
that's where the plateau starts to curve.
I
is what
feel
I'm
like the true Disney Dark Age is the sequel tier, like the sequel time when we were just doing direct to
direct-to-DVD.
sequels.
Yeah, and like Frozen
Oh.
3 might not be direct to DVD, but it's Frozen 3 and
It's-
not
Yeah.
like a new thing.
It's
I'm thinking,
direct
like,
to
the Little
DVD in
Mermaid
spirit.
2. Yeah,
I see. So you're thinking of
Michael Eisner.
the weird awkward part where Eisner is about to retire and he doesn't know what to do, so he's just kind of spinning his wheels until Iger takes over.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Like,
see.
Yeah. That to me is the true. Because, like, yeah, like 101 Dalmatians is fine. Fox and the Hound is fine. Black Cauldron is not very good.
The problem is that stuff like made money and just kind of culled the drop off point, so they just kind of
Sure.
stuck down. They just kind of stuck down there at the middling sales.
Yeah,
Kingdom
yeah.
Hearts came out, so they made sales elsewhere and
Sure,
were starting
sure,
to branch out. But I mean, Black Cauldron almost killing Disney.
No,
Studios
yeah, for
is
sure,
what
for
I'm
sure.
thinking.
But I am thinking this is more analogous with the direct to VHS / DVD like
Mindset.
Sequel, yeah, like sequel era.
Yeah.
Because it's that mindset of like nobody is asking for this. They're making these things cheap. Not cheap. That's the problem. They're not
Yeah.
making these things cheap. They're making them very quickly, however, for way too much money, and they're like way oversaturating the market, just like all those sequels that nobody wanted back in the 90s. And like,
And because they
I mean,
can't
like-
greenlight original productions and be confident they'll make a reasonable return, because you're not going to give a new original movie Frozen 3 money as Disney.
Right.
You're only going to give Frozen 3 money. And like,
and the problem is that like I see where this is coming from, because that movie Wish bombed super hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because one, they sent that thing out to die, and two, they didn't give it Frozen money. It looked cheap. It sounded cheap, right? Like it was ugly, and they're all doing these like, they're still doing those Disney girl face proportions, but they don't work in 3D. They just don't. Like fucking Elsa and Anna's like rat faces would look great in 2D, and they look awful in 3D. And they're still doing that. Was it Glen Keane? They're doing the Glen Keane style, and it just never looks good in 3D ever.
Frozen would have been great, I think, as a 90s Disney movie.
Yes.
God, yeah.
Would have been way better.
Actually, you know what would have really made it work? If Don Bluth stole it before Disney.
Yeah, well, Don Bluth would have had the balls to make Elsa, excuse me, the villain like she was in like the original concept art.
100%.
Mhm.
Yes, like he would have made the Frozen that was in the fucking concept art that looked so good, and that Disney cowered it out of, basically.
I mean, it would still be bad because he's really bad at sticking the landing on the Disney musical part.
It's not true. Anastasia was a classic. I'll fight you.
Anastasia was a fluke because that was in the middle of him trying about 5 times before and 2 times after.
Yeah. Only 1 time after, because Titan AE
You're right, excuse me.
killed that studio.
Oh,
Titan
you know
AE
what?
killed that studio instantly. Yeah.
You know what? I'm putting Titan AE on the list. I
Let's
forgot about
go!
that movie.
Can't we just
Ben,
watch Anastasia?
Don't you fucking dare!
Can't we just watch Anastasia? It's a good movie instead of a bad movie.
Ben,
You're gonna kill me.
update the list. Put Anastasia on 20 and put Titan AE on 1.
If
You know,
if you're going to try and shoot to kill, Ben, you should make it Troll in Central Park so we at least have something to talk about.
That's true. Titan AE is really boring.
Titan AE is boring and there's nothing to fucking talk about.
Yeah,
it's just mid.
It's extremely
and Joss
mid.
Whedon dialogue all over the place, so we're
Yeah.
just gonna groan and not see.
Definitely a Troll in Central Park instead.
you know what? I'll put that. So just as a little background thing. Last time we rolled for Takeout, I had Saturn flip a coin as well.
Oh, right.
Because what I have on the list now is a new feature I've added, where some of the things on this list are
Actually, double feature.
there is the good one and the bad one. So if you land on a certain number, I might ask you to flip a coin, and it's whether you'll watch the good one or the bad one.
I'm so glad.
Whenever we do that recording this month, you do have to tell us what the other one would have been.
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
absolutely.
I mean, I think
Absolutely.
when we started, I think you'll know what the bad one was. But we'll see.
I'm glad to know we're getting the good one.
I'm so happy.
I'm having what Twitter recently has helpfully called "doing bad August," which is when you do bad in the month of August. So I need to have something to look forward
Something
to.
good. Yeah.
I see.
I have one final thing to say about D23.
yeah.
Sarah,
What?
do you know? So Tron Legacy had Daft Punk doing the music, right?
Yes, I saw this. 9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails, because Daft Punk broke up, obviously.
Because your Daft Punk broke up tragically.
So
you're
Tron
having
Ares has 9 Inch Nails
It's
doing the
literally
soundtrack.
I just want to die. I
So-
just want to die.
Is that why they couldn't get 9 Inch Nails for Warframe? They have Disney money.
I just want to die. It's so bad because conceptually, sequel to Tron Legacy with all the music done by 9 Inch Nails is a movie made in a lab for me.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
No, yeah.
that's a
Mhm.
movie that's only for Sarah. Do you know who the lead is? It's fucking Jared Leto.
It's Morbius himself.
I just want to die. I just want
Poison.
to die. It's so poison. I hate Jared Leto. He should have just stuck to making the kind of edgy emo girl music that I love. 20 Seconds to Mars is a great band. Why did you have to go make bad movies and be like a weird cult leader? Couldn't you just like be good instead of bad and just make good music, please?
Between him and Gerard Way, there's just something about being a guy in a band and then just going, I want to do literally anything else.
Yeah.
At least Gerard Way was doing good things.
At least Gerard Way is a talented comic writer.
Yeah, fucking Jared Leto sucks. I hate him to death. So I'm just really sad about Ares, because, like...
I like how Sarah has a... If I see Jared Leto on the street, there's gonna be like an HB bar above my head, because...
Oh, yes, it's on site.
In the same way I feel about Matthew McConaughey.
Jared Leto is in that really good... Matthew McConaughey!
Matthew McConaughey? What do you...
I don't know. I just want to fight him in the street.
I respect that. I respect that.
I've never heard of anybody beefing with Matthew McConaughey.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is the sacred right of haterism. Everyone is entitled to their completely irrational hatred of one person or thing without precondition.
I hated Kubo and the Two Strings, just flat out. Matthew McConaughey needs to be fought.
Is Matthew McConaughey in Kubo?
He's the main character's dad.
Oh.
Okay. Fair.
For the listening audience at home, my irrational haterism is Sam Barlow. I cannot stand Sam Barlow. I think he's a hack fraud and all of his games are pretentious. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I would also still fight him in the street.
Saturn, why do you go for the kill whenever I try and drink something?
I don't know who my hater would my on-site would be.
You have too kind of a spirit. You don't have the aura of a hater.
No, you know what? Doug TenNapel.
That's fair.
That's an easy one.
Because he
ruined
ruined something important to me by existing.
But the thing is, here's the thing. I think Matthew McConaughey and Sam Barlow, for me and Oates, are what you would qualify as like the gratis irrational haterism.
Yeah.
I don't think I can really justify my not liking of Sam Barlow in conversation aside from the things I just said. It is completely justified to want to fight Doug TenNapel in the street.
Yeah. Like, that's a totally normal, desire. Like, not liking Jared Leto is also extremely normal. He's like a weird pervert who runs a cult. So, like, he's kind of like Ezra Miller, right? Like a guy who just kind of gets to do stuff in Hollywood because I think he knows where the bodies are buried.
Yeah, Jared Leto absolutely has blackmail on people. There's no way.
Yes. Like, that fucking Blade Runner 2049 is a great movie, except for the parts where fucking Jared Leto is just rubbing his dick all over it. And I just hate it. But otherwise, that's a great movie. That's a Ryan Gosling movie. That's really good. But yeah, no, I'm so sad about Tron Ares. I wanted that movie to be good because I love Tron Legacy. I saw that movie in theaters like 6 times. Okay? And the girls at my local theater knew me as the Tron lady because I liked that movie so much. I just wanted to keep watching it. And so
it's a pretty good movie.
It's just a good movie to when you're bored in college and you can just go to like a $5 matinee between classes because you got you have like a 4-hour break, but you live 40 minutes.
I'll do it.
It's one of those, right? You have a 4-hour break, but you live 40 minutes away, so you can't go home. You don't know what to do with yourself, and there's a movie theater nearby. What do? You go watch the cheap matinee. So I just watched Tron Legacy a bunch that way.
My opinion on Tron Legacy is I still have that wallpaper of Olivia Munn in my rotation.
It's not Olivia Munn, it's the other one. Olivia Wilde.
No, it's Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn is the G4 girl. Totally different girl. Olivia Wilde.
Google says that it is Sara who's the winner.
Oh. My bad. Either way.
I understand, though, by the way...
show.
I understand, by the way, why she uses the stage name Olivia Wilde. Born Olivia Jane Cockburn.
Fantastic. God, she's such a babe in that movie still.
Yeah.
God, she's so beautiful in that movie. And they squandered her. They ended that movie on being like, Cora's in the real world. And then they didn't do anything with Tron for another fucking 12 years. And now it's too late. Now you can't get Olivia Wilde anymore. And generic blonde white boy number 25 that had decent chemistry with her.
Yeah.
Sam,
I mean, she
I don't-
looks good for 40.
She looks great, but I mean, they're just not.
They're not gonna
It's
put her in
Hollywood.
like a,
It's
you know,
Hollywood.
Yeah, no, it's Hollywood.
Yeah,
I
it's Hollywood.
understand. I understand. It's
They're
just like
they're evil,
you could if you were
You
a brain
could.
genius.
but they're gonna put fucking nasty ass Jared Leto, who's like 40 something years old. How old is Jared Leto?
40 fucking something years old.
Disgusting. I hate him to death. And they're gonna put him in the movie instead, and because he was in fucking Fight Club all those years ago.
52.
52.
Gross. Get out of here. Go away.
I hate it here so much. I'm gonna end up on the news. I'm so mad about Tron Ares, and we have to move on, please.
Okay.
And it's got a 9 Inch Nails soundtrack.
Ben, why did you
Okay.
have to deal psychic damage to her?
Okay, next. Max Payne 1 and 2 Remake enters full production. Control 2 features in playable form.
Yay! Max Payne and 2. That makes me happy.
Oh,
Woohoo!
that is nice.
That is good. Those games are still great. I am extremely looking forward to those remakes. A lot. So yeah. Those are going to be
Good.
good.
I'm also
Yeah.
glad to hear that Control 2 is in a playable state.
God, yes. I am extremely excited for Control 2. Local woman excited for the sequel
When
to
are-
a game she still hasn't played.
Yeah, we gotta get that Control LP going.
Yeah.
It is definitely the funniest Remedy thing to me that they did Alan Wake, let it go for like several years, did Control, then did an Alan Wake tie-in DLC for Control to set up the sequel Alan Wake 2, and then did a tie-in DLC in Alan Wake 2 to set up their sequel for Control. They're off the shits over there. They're doing drugs you've never heard of.
They're doing like mountain climbing rappelling with each other.
Yeah.
I just wish we could have other video game companies goof off like that.
Oh, I know.
Because like I feel like Valve was the only one who used to do that with its constant like, hey, we're working on Half-Life 3 because Portal 2 has a bunch of Black Mesa jokes.
I feel like Remedy only is run the way it does if Sam Lake takes an hour and a half long ice bath every single morning.
Oh, I know he does. That's how his face gets like that.
Yeah.
It's the rictus
He
caused by the
takes
ice.
the ice bath and he puts butter in his coffee. Like that's how you get Sam Lake.
Yeah,
That's right.
In order to do the facial expression for Max Payne, like he had to stand he had to do that face for like an hour so the modelers could like render it perfectly.
Yeah, and that's why they call it an expression of pain.
Yeah. I can't believe the expression was invented by Max Payne.
Yeah.
I want a mod for Disco Elysium that replaces the expression with the Sam Lake expression.
With the PS1 face texture, the PS2 face texture from Max Payne 1.
Honestly, shockingly easy mod to do. You have to change like 2 pictures.
Yeah.
You just gotta Photoshop a few things. It's fine.
Time for the best news of the week.
Oh boy.
Krafton strengthens
Yes.
global presence through strategic integration of Tango Gameworks and Hi-Fi Rush IP.
Yes, that's
see.
right. The
Okay.
publishers of fucking PUBG, a game that I thought was dead, but is apparently not. The publishers for PUBG bought Tango.
So here's the thing, Sarah. PUBG, definitely super dead. What's not dead is PUBG Mobile.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Because Fortnite has been on and off various app stores, and the thing is, PUBG was doing it for longer and is less banned than that game is.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay. Well, good for them. I'm glad that Krafton has the money. So they have the money. They purchased Tango outright. That includes the rights to Hi-Fi Rush. They also
crazy.
They also apparently rehired everybody who had been fired.
Yeah,
So,
they just saved the company.
Yeah, they literally just were like, we are going to rehire everybody who got laid off. We're going to just put the whole company back together, and we are going to work on expanding the Hi-Fi Rush brand. which is incredible.
All of
I
them
think-
are just
I think that
standing
Microsoft should be held liable in like an international court of law, and like, they have to send someone to the Hague forever.
Yeah.
Because like, God Almighty.
I think the thing that really solidified this as real and happening is when Robbie Damon added Erica Lindbeck on Twitter and was like, "We have a job again."
Great.
I just love the idea of just like all of Tango just standing on the street outside of the office with bindles, like look like a bunch of homeless people, and then a limousine just drives up and they're like, "You look cool, get in." All of you, come on, come on in.
Are you sharing this room, that limousine? Yeah, man,
Yeah,
take a
come on.
look. And you look back in there, and it's the entirety of the interior of the Tango Gameworks building inside the limousine.
Exactly. Saturn gets it.
Oh man, no, it's so cool. I'm so it really is the best news of the week. We needed good news like this, like desperately.
Yeah.
I just hope that their efforts to make a Hi-Fi Rush 2 go better than Callisto Protocol did.
That's correct.
Yeah, but
You know.
I mean, I think in this case, it's the entire staff working on Hi-Fi Rush 2, not
Right.
some of the staff working on a thing that's kind of like Hi-Fi Rush.
Right.
It's still just insane to me that Microsoft's like, this is the only W that we had in 2023.
Oh, I
we're
know.
selling, we're closing the entire studio and selling all of its IP also. Like,
Yeah.
like you don't think that your audience would have liked there to be more Hi-Fi Rush? Are you fucking stupid? I mean,
thing
don't
is-
answer that. I know the answer
Oh,
already.
we know the
but-
answer. But the thing is that, like, very famously, the thing that always like drives me insane about the way they treated Tango, very famously, Devil May Cry 2 is the best-selling game in that series until DMC like 5,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Because it was a follow-up to a game that everybody liked a lot. So a Hi-Fi Rush 2 would have been that's an easy W. That's a knock out of the park. Because like you get a lot of word of mouth and people play the first one, that's good. And then that word of mouth carries you forward to the sequel. So when the sequel comes out, it sells even better. That's just kind of how like media works.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
like
it's a
sequels-
Microsoft game, so it did not sell any copies.
Oh, I know. They put it on fucking Game Pass because they're idiots. But
Phil
like
Spencer's the dumbest man alive.
the dumbest fucking man alive. I swear to
Crafton
God.
Crafton should release this on everything but the Xbox.
I agree.
Honestly,
I think they
Ben,
should.
that might just be the default assumption
Yeah,
in a
by the
short
time-
frame of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time the game comes out, they might not have a choice.
There might not
Yeah.
be an Xbox to put it
There-
out on, yeah.
There's not going to be an Xbox to put it out on when Hi-Fi Rush 2 is done. It's just going to be the PS5 and Switch 2.
And the PC. And the PC.
And the PC,
Like,
and the PC.
Yeah. So let's just... No. Bless you. Bless you again.
And
But, yeah.
Phil Spencer will still be there saying, well, it's on Windows Store, so that's basically as good as being on Xbox. Windows Store is Xbox.
Yeah.
Windows is
Store
Xbox.
definitely. No, it's so stupid. But I am very happy for everybody at Tango. I mean, it's in a year that has just been unrelenting, crushing
Do we-
layoffs one after another.
Yeah, can we...
Getting a company to just get all of their jobs back after getting laid off is just like, oh god, everybody needed one of those.
Do we just like refund those layoffs on the list?
No. They
No.
still count. They still count. They
Okay.
still count.
The
Okay.
thing is, those people didn't have jobs for several months. That still counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
That still counts. So, but they all got their jobs back. So congratulations, or they got rehired. Technically, all under the same banner, but not really. Anyway, also please also put out The Evil Within 3. Please.
Yeah, please. They go into the new office building, and it's like the same layout as their old one but reversed.
Everything's just been moved 2 inches
Like-
to the left.
It's like the Wii version of Twilight Princess where it's just mirrored.
Yeah. I love it.
I'll forever kill Nintendo for that one.
I know.
Yeah.
Um,
Next, Tesla's Cybertruck causes a maddening bug in Fortnite. They can't even get it working in a video game.
No, I didn't hear this one.
Oh, this one's great.
I didn't
So-
hear this
so
one.
I
This
don't-
is great.
I don't know the Fortnite one, but I do want to continue to. I do want to briefly add a note about, because it's also in Rocket League. the thing that's very funny about it in Rocket League is they gave it the base stats of like the worst, least meta car in the game. Like its hitbox and stat profile are like the shittiest car in the game. Basically.
Dog
Great,
shit, yeah.
that's so funny.
In Fortnite, apparently, if the way it works in Fortnite is that one of the you can regenerate if you break a vehicle then rebuild it, it can regenerate into a Cybertruck, and if you exit the vehicle, it can render a specific melee weapon useless.
What?
How does that even work?
I don't know how. Because I don't know how Fortnite exactly works with its weapon system.
Do you have the article? Link?
Yeah, it is the Nitro Fists, apparently.
Oh, so the Nitro Fists are they're like most of the melee weapons in Fortnite are just like it's your equipable pickaxe or whatever. It's a skin for the pickaxe. But the Nitro Fists are a seasonal weapon where the whole thing is that they're like big rocket power, like whole cans basically. And so they have like a unique moveset where it's like, oh, you can do like jet propulsion, air dashes, and stuff like that. But it's like the seasonal thing, which also means like when the season ends in, I don't know, a couple of days, you're just not going to be able to play with them anymore.
What?
Because
what?
It's like,
yeah,
so
Fortnite's weird like that.
Yeah, well, because Fortnite will literally just add completely new bespoke content to the game, and the season ends, and it's like, all right, we're changing like 25% of the map to be completely new. And we're putting a bunch of shit away and putting new shit in.
That's very weird. Very bizarre to me.
Because their strategy is also just like, on occasion they'll speak, hey, we brought this old thing back for an event. Like, we unvaulted it. And it's like, oh, alright, cool. It works for Fortnite well enough. It's a live service game, so it's just like, it's whatever you have to deal with. But like, it does do quite a bit to keep the meta for that game interesting. Just moving things in and out of the thing. But it is very funny to go like, no, the Cybertruck ruined like the most fun part of the current season.
That's so funny.
Those rocket hands are genuinely a blast. They're so funny, and you can really harass people with them because they're extremely powerful, and you have insane mobility with them.
So yeah, even here,
God,
they can't get it right anywhere.
It's very funny that it's specifically the Cybertruck. Not like, oh, the Cybertruck, like, put out a, like, when we updated it put out a bug that any vehicle has this bug. It's the Cybertruck specifically causing it.
I just think that's extremely funny to me. They can't get that thing to work right anywhere.
No.
In video games, in real life, it's incredible. It's just gonna chop your fingers off forever.
I saw one while I was driving home the other day.
You saw one in the real world?
I did like a double take. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't realize how
ugly.
Big it is.
They're huge, and I've never seen one in person. That's probably for the best because I think I would not be able to stop myself from pointing and laughing at that person.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. If you see a Cybertruck in real life, get into a car accident with them, your car will be totaled and you'll be fine. Their car will be fine and they'll die.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, like the old boats from the 50s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they literally are like that. Yeah.
Well, the thing with the Cybertruck, apart from everything else that's bad about it, is the reason no one makes vehicles out of, like, fucking steel anymore and the frames are all plastic and shit, is that the thing is, you don't want... You want the frame to absorb and disperse as much of the impact as possible. Yeah. You want it to destroy your car so that you, the person inside it, will be fine. If you get hit bad enough in a Cybertruck, the truck will be fine and you'll just die.
The reason...
Because all that force gets distributed to your squishy human organs.
We literally call them crumple zones. They're the things that are designed to crumple and fall apart so that the framework where you are is intact.
Right. It's incredible.
It really is the Donald Trump of vehicles.
It is. It truly is.
It really is.
A
thing that not even... Although, ironically, a thing that Donald Trump doesn't even want. Granted, it's because they plastered a picture of him after he'd just gotten shot at onto it. And we've been talking about this extensively. We're just going to talk about politics for a second. Because I think it's funny. I can't help it.
Oh, yeah. No, it's very funny.
Oh, yeah, it's funny.
The fact that it seems like, by all accounts, like, the picture of Donald Trump right after he got shot at, like, like has been touted by like the right as like this very cool image, and like in a vacuum, you know, you just got shot at, you stand up and put your fucking fist in the air, it looks cool, right?
The American flag behind you.
Yeah, like it's a whole fucking that's an
There is a
easy
different
W.
There is a different timeline where Biden doesn't drop out in that photo, wins Trump the election.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is, by all accounts, Donald Trump himself, what the fuck, himself hates that picture because it reminds him that somebody tried to kill him.
It is,
and like, he's not having fun anymore, guys.
Yeah.
I saw some suggestion that like his like campaign staffer suggests that he frequently rewatches that clip where he got shot at on live TV. And again, here's it is the strength of Donald Trump has always been that, like, despite the fact that he's a horrible monster, he is like a flesh and blood person, unlike most of like the party apparatus on either side, right? Which is why people like him at all, because he's very normal. And the thing is, if you almost got shot and killed on live TV and no one cared, it would fuck you up.
Oh, absolutely. It
However,
would
it's
drive
very
you
funny.
categorically insane.
It is very funny because this is the exact world that he cultivated, and now he's being
absolutely.
made to live in it.
Now he has to live in it. It's like everybody's like, oh yeah, we shouldn't give a shit about school shootings. Okay, well we don't. We don't give a shit about shootings anymore, and that includes when somebody takes a shot at a guy running for president. Like, it's very funny, and it's making him completely insane. And it's like, why he's not campaigning right now? Like, he's just not campaigning right now. And
it's not fun anymore.
Yeah,
it's not fun anymore.
He did it so that he can be popular and be effectively immortal, and now he's reminded that he can die.
Yeah, and like Donald Trump very famously doesn't exercise because he has that like old world rich guy like philosophy that they used to have, where if you work out, you spend the finite amount of life energy you have in your body. Like this is the thing he like believes, right? And it's like one of those old weird moneyed people beliefs. And like that's like why he doesn't work out, because he doesn't want to die, right? He's very like concerned about that kind of thing. And I mean, justifiably so. Nobody wants to die, but I mean like he thinks, I think he thinks about it more than most people.
Well, now he does now.
And now he definitely does. And I am fascinated by, I cannot wait for like the first tell-all book that comes out about like the weeks after somebody tried to shoot Donald Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see it. I'm not saying it's going to happen because he's like very stupid and also a million years old. I do think it would be very funny if, as a result of being almost assassinated, he had some sort of like radical political shift before the election. He's suddenly an extremely pro-gun control candidate.
Oh god, he really could be. I could see that, actually.
It would take nothing, because the problem is, now a gun has personally inconvenienced him, so now they're bad, even though he always said they were cool before.
Yeah. Well, there was that whole kerfuffle, because like fucking Kyle Rittenhouse, that pig-faced piece of shit, was like, he said like he's not going to vote for Donald Trump because he's not strong enough on like gun rights, right? And it's like, yeah, no shit, motherfucker. Of course he's not strong on gun rights. One almost took his goddamn head off. And then, like, 2 hours later, he's like, never mind, I actually support him super hard. Please give me more money. Because he's a little pig-faced bitch boy. Yeah, of course. All of this to say, this all comes up because fucking Aiden Ross put a picture, gave Donald Trump a cyber... Gave Donald Trump? A CyberTrump. That's what I thought you were going to do. Yeah. No,
I think Donald Truck would be a good name for this episode.
Oh, I'm writing it down right now.
Thank you.
Donald Truck CyberTrump.
No, Aiden Ross gave Trump a Cybertruck with the picture of him just having been shot at on the side of it. And he is visibly unhappy with it.
Oh yeah! Like, dude, if I was in Trump's shoes and someone did that to me, I would be in the. Oh, here's the thing: I'd be Donald Trump, so I'd already be in the news. I would be on the news for what I did to that guy specifically.
Yeah.
I need. By the
insane.
way, I want to get this joke out here right now. But Donald Truck is the name of the Disney character in the world where they're vehicles instead of animals.
You mean cars?
Yeah, he's the Transformers. It's the Transformers Donald.
Yeah, in the Cars universe,
Yeah.
it's Donald Truck.
Yeah.
I'm thinking constantly about that one Tumblr post or whatever. It's like, I finally gathered enough evidence that Lightning McQueen's signature move involves flashing a single nipple. He did this to the Queen of England.
Oh god, we got way off topic.
Okay,
Sorry, I
next.
just had to get it out of my system. Thank you.
Next, we have a fun game. We can play the Gorge's favorite game on air.
Oh boy.
Does
Guess
it involve
the
seeing
numbers.
player counts?
Instead of player counts, though, it's money.
Okay.
So the answer is, what did Borderlands make on opening day, and how much did it cost on opening to make?
I know the answer to
this
both
one.
these questions.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do know this one.
Oh, okay.
It made 8 million. It cost $120 million to make.
Well, here's the thing, Sarah. It gets even worse. 8 million was the opening weekend figure.
Yes.
The opening day figure was only 4.
Amazing.
So it made back 1/30th of its budget on opening day.
Folks, this has
It's
been
bad.
a great pod. Folks, this is a great podcast because not only have we now talked about the eternal suffering of Donald Trump and the eternal suffering of Phil Spencer being a dumb man for fucking fumbling Tango Gameworks, we now also get to talk about my least favorite person in video games, more so than even Phil Spencer. Randy Pitchford.
I think Randy Pitchford is currently in that bathroom making that face.
I think Randy Pitchford
yeah.
is currently being briefed to replace J.D. Vance as Donald Trump's vice presidential nominee.
I think it takes a lot of courage to be Randy Pitchford right now and still be alive and not take your life after everything that's happened.
So amazing. It owns. Like, I have personally beefed with Randy Pitchford
Because there is
on Twitter. Like I have beefed with this man. I hate his guts. I actually I actually hate Jared Leto more. I had to think about that. They're neck and neck, really. Either way,
Randy Pitchford is pathetic, but Jared Leto is just kind of greasy.
yeah, absolutely.
Randy Pitchford ruins a medium that I care deeply about.
I think for me the difference is I hate Leto more because I
Fair.
get the sense that it must be deeply sad to be Randy Pitchford. Like, it just
Yeah,
must be a
that's fair.
pathetic
He's
existence.
pathetic. Yeah,
He's
he's
very
pathetic.
pathetic.
Whereas Jared
Yeah,
Leto's just a
absolutely.
guy who I hate, who has, like,
Right.
money and fame and everything, and uses it to be, like, a weird sex pest, and also, like, vastly overestimate his own acting credentials and everything, and,
Correct.
like, just
Jared
not have any kind of, like, reflection.
Jared Leto is a douchebag. Randy Pitchford is a jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the
absolutely.
classical sense that those delineations work, yeah.
I'm just thinking of, like, none of that was Randy Pitchford's money. That man doesn't have any.
No, he was a producer.
Was that his own production money?
I mean,
Like,
if
out of
you're
pocket?
if you're a producer, that requires at least you putting some of. If you are credited as a producer in Hollywood,
Let me see if there's
that
if there's
means-
other producers.
I mean, I'm sure there are other
'Cause, I mean,
producers,
Because
and like
there's
they
also
get.
investitures and stuff.
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
investors and stuff like that, and the fucking studios and stuff. They'll put money
Well,
in
yeah,
there too.
I can tell you for free that Randy Pitchford does not independently have $120 million to waste
Yeah,
right.
on
That's what I'm
Borderlands
saying.
movie.
Like, he's got it. Like, most of those funds probably came, if not from like his company, then from contacts that he has.
Sure, but in order for him to have gotten a producer credit, he did have to put some of his own money. in.
Yeah.
So yes, the joy of this is that Randy Pitchford himself did lose money on this. That's
Like-
the beauty of it.
Yeah, he's lost money, but also think about all of those people who are just kind of slowly turning towards him and going like, "This isn't the producers, buddy."
You gotta pay up. Yeah.
Does anyone know what it's sitting at in Rotten Tomatoes right now?
I know it's a
Ooh.
single-digit
remember.
percent. I'm gonna say 8.
Yeah, I also want to just say 8 because that was where it
6.
was last time I saw it.
I think I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna say it went down.
Okay.
It has managed to get to 9.
Oh
Wow.
Wow.
So it's a good movie now. Obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
for
Remind me
sure.
what Morbius is at right now. Can you
You know what? Let's look that up real quick.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
meaner, actually.
I think Morbius is sitting at probably a 40%. If I had to
20,
guess.
23.
I'm gonna say 15.
Saturn is right on the money.
Wow.
That means that
Ooh.
Morbius is a better movie than Borderlands.
Okay, wait, one more. Madam Web.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give that one a 12.
21.
I'm thinking 12.
I
Oats?
think it's definitely got the Disney adults, or like Marvel adults, I guess, forcing it to be a little higher.
Mhm.
I think it's sitting at 25.
It's at 11.
Whoa.
Sadly, I am the closest, but not without going over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
terrible. Okay.
Madam Web, also better than Borderlands.
Also
That's
better than
true.
Borderlands. You can't go
Man.
wrong.
Damn. I'm vastly overestimating the generosity of movie critics toward these Sony movies. I need to just assume that they hate them. Because Borderlands is also a Sony movie.
By this metric,
Right.
by this metric, this means if this ratio continues, if this process continues,
Sure.
we're looking at a Craven movie with a 6%.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that Craven. Not to watch it. I will never watch that Craven movie unless you pay me a lot of money. Man. not just the normal takeout bucks, but like a lot of money. That Craven movie might actually, because like for a little while there, Borderlands had a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then more reviews came in and were slightly more generous. Slightly. But I think if we all put our hands in the sky and send our spirit energy to that bomb, we can have Craven stay at 0%. I believe in us.
Here's the thing, Ben, how we're talking about like the trajectory of having a Craven movie that comes in at 6%. I think actually, independent of any of these other reviews, a Craven movie coming out at any point after like 2016 is basically guaranteed to be a 6%.
Yeah,
That's true.
I don't think there's any way you get a good Craven
Yeah.
movie in the year of our Lord 2024.
Did you watch that trailer that came out today?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. Why would I do that to myself?
It's got the worst looking rhino I've ever seen in anything ever.
Does it look like they really poorly attempted to just like 1-to-1 his 1960s animated look?
No.
Oats, it's worse.
Hold on, I'm just trying to pull it up right now.
I wanna describe it to Oats beforehand because
Oh yes.
Okay.
the rhino is a man in a suit, right?
Yeah.
And he's got his face like out of the thing, and like the horn is above his head, whatever. But
Yeah,
he's
he
a
looks
man in a
really-
suit.
Yeah.
He looks really silly, but we love that for him because he's kind of a silly guy.
And in a modern adaptation, you would say you'd want to maybe put him in more of a robot suit, right? It's like something that looks a bit more functional in live action, right?
Sure, you give him like a Metal Gear
an
Solid
amazing,
4
yeah.
muscle suit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have opted to just turn him into a Rhino Man.
Can I show her a picture now?
Yes.
Come on. Please post that picture.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
He's
You have to post it so I can see it.
I am.
he's gonna inject himself with rhino juice
There
and
you
he's
go.
gonna
There you go,
become a
Sara.
Rhino Man.
Oh, what the Christ. This looks like a character from Concord.
Yeah, it does.
There's sweat pouring down my face.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen in a Marvel product.
Yeah, actually, he does also look like that. He looks like a worse thing.
Yeah.
He looks like, speaking of things that we are going to play the bad numbers game about in a couple weeks, he looks like the green bitch from Concord.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, a couple
From that
weeks. When's
Sony
that game come? I think that game might already come out, didn't it?
That game came out today, so we're gonna.
Oh fuck! Oh, they're so washed. I have seen
So
more
cooked.
people talking about the Valve game that you're technically not allowed to talk about, but people are just can't shut the fuck. Okay, no, thank God, it's not out for 8 days.
Okay.
There's still
Okay,
time.
I thought it come out today. I'm sorry, but no, that game's so cooked.
That game's so cooked. It's like, oh fuck, that game came out today. I have not even seen a single human being acknowledge it exists.
Oh, Saturn,
today.
don't worry. In 8 days, no one is going to acknowledge that that game exists.
So true.
I'm taking a shot call right now. Of the day that comes out, I'm going to go through my Twitter feed, and I'm going to see more copium tweets about how the Dragon Age trailer never came out.
And actually, we're going to know that release date tomorrow.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, I'm going to hear more copium about how that game has to be good. It's got to be, you guys. It's got to be.
I want that game to be good, but it's not going to be good. But Concord is going to be bad, and nobody's going to be talking about it. And next week, we're going to have this same conversation about it instead.
I know that the new Dragon Age game isn't going to be good for one very simple reason, which is in the preview stuff we've seen for it, they kind of go over, it's like, oh, you can pick like character background origins, and like they'll have different, like, you know, like the way you do in Cyberpunk, right?
Sure.
And in the normal version of this character, you go like, hey, this guy is from this gang in this city, and you go, well, obviously I don't know him because I have no relation to that. But the version of that where your backstory would signal that you know that, you'd be like, well, yeah, I operate in that part of the city, but I don't know that guy.
Oh, great. Good. Awesome.
Oh, no.
Love it.
Just complete.
No.
Like, so that's why I know. That's why I already know that game's gonna be bad.
Completely sandbags it.
Oh,
Wow,
no. Okay, it's going to be so
Excellent.
bad. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's
Great.
good. It's good.
They're going to kill BioWare.
The year of the RPG asterisk. If it's made by a Japanese studio, if it's made by a Western studio, just kill yourself now.
What the hell?
Well, Saturn,
Uh-huh.
speaking of the Valve game that everyone played and no one's allowed to talk about, Valve's yet to be announced multiplayer game already has thousands of players on Steam.
That's correct. I keep seeing people who I know who like take like a cropped picture of a login screen and just go, "Man, I love signing NDAs."
It's the game that everyone's talking about, the game they're not allowed to talk about.
But people are talking about Deadlock. Deadlock?
Yeah.
Deadlock?
Deadlock.
Okay, so not past tense. Cool.
Right. That's the
People are
Ratchet
talking about
game.
it. Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, people are talking about it. Everybody says it's good. I'm not surprised, but I mean, we'll see how long it stays. I mean,
I'm not shocked that Valve, makers of TF2, can make an Overwatch game that's better than Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, that's not
stunningly
shocking.
the TF2 guys made a fucking hero shooter that's good. Wow.
But will Valve be able to kill TF2?
No.
Can
Absolutely
Valve
not.
do it?
No, absolutely. Valve can't beat Valve. Like 100%. Deadlock is not going to kill TF2. TF2 will outlive Deadlock.
Well,
Oh,
listen,
absolutely.
guys. This is the only way it can happen.
Like
true.
can only kill like.
Exactly.
That if
Ape
any-
can only kill Ape.
If it was gonna be anything, it would be Deadlock. Yes.
What were-
I agree.
I am looking at some screenshots of Deadlock, and aside from the fact that it's like, you know, it's an Overwatch game, but also even more of a MOBA. Like, it has like lanes and ads and shit, right?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
This is a game that does actually look like this is Team Fortress 3 art style wise.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
it definitely
has
does
this-
look like that.
Like, it uses Team Fortress fonts in it. It has the same kind of like painterly mid-century texturing style. Like, hold on, I'll send some screenshots in the group chat real quick. No, I want to copy the image, not the letter E. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
has some TF2 energy to it for sure.
Okay.
Also, this like menu screen here.
Yep.
Extremely Valve looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know.
It looks kind of like if Redfall looked like it had the Dishonored art style.
Yeah.
What we
That would be cool.
what we are going to see is that the most likely outcome is that in 2 years we are going to see Deadlock accessories in TF2, and that's the last we'll hear of Deadlock.
Yes.
And that comic still won't come out.
And that comic still won't come out.
I just googled Deadlock, and there's like story mode cutscene screenshots I'm seeing.
Oh,
That's cool.
Like visual novel style.
good for them.
Like I don't know if these are legitimate or if someone's just having fun, but
Having a laugh.
I mean, look at this.
Is that from the? Is that?
That's
No, that doesn't look like the same art style.
no, but that character is in she's in Deadlock. Like she's in a screenshot of Deadlock.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. This game is it's also nebulous right now because of just like NDAs and people breaking them. That like what's real and what isn't is so up in the air right now.
Yeah, we won't know until it actually comes out when we're all like 50.
What if this is all a ruse and they're just going to release TF3 on Source 2? That's what this is all leading up to.
We're gonna get like the third official trailer of Deadlock is going to reveal new hero, the engineer.
You guys, you know Valve can't count to 3. Don't be silly.
What they're gonna do is they're just gonna do the Street Fighter thing where they just fold like Final Fight characters into Street Fighter. Yeah. They're just gonna fold TF2 characters into Deadlock.
Yeah. That's how they make the TF2 sequel. Yeah.
That the trick is that they do the Jack and Daxter and the Saints Row thing where after the second one they referred to it with a completely different numbering system.
I see.
Yeah.
So it'll be Team Fortress the Third.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
That's
understandable.
How they do it. Or the Team Fortress.
Yes.
But there's also a hidden R in there, so it's 3 Team Fortress.
So stupid.
You love it.
No, Oats. They just call it Team Defense Force.
3.
3. Where are the other 2? Don't worry about it.
The TDF is here. And then you have them fight giant ants.
Yeah.
Invisible.
I think they should add an update to the Man vs. Machine game mode where you're just swarmed by like giant 20-foot tall ants.
Oh god. Alright, what else?
Next, Baldur's Gate 3's rarest ending has only been unlocked by 34 players and requires an obscenely specific sequence of poor decisions.
This is great, by the way. It's very Larian core to have an entire bespoke ending that has only been seen by like a sub-fraction of a percent of your player base.
To get this ending, you do need to make a set of truly bizarre decisions. I don't know anything about what these decisions mean.
So I'm not going to say the things because like there's like this is significantly involved in like huge plot spoilers for Baldur's Gate 3.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
What I will say is the reason it's so rare is here's the thing that factor into it. You have to play as an origin character and not like a custom character. And the thing is, the origin characters you are playing as one of your party members. Right. So it's like you have your own, like it reframes their character quest to be like a personal quest. They get unique dialogue options, stuff like that. Very few players actually do that though, because if you play a game like Baldur's Gate 3, because you want to like build a lore about, right?
Right.
You have to specifically play Lae'zel, who is one of the least picked of the origin characters. That tends to be like Shadowheart and Astarion and all that. Like, the very Tumblr popular. Lae'zel's kind of a. She's not as popular in that regard, so people won't pick her very often.
She's the grumpy lizard girl. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Then basically you have to commit to doing the extremely obviously a bad idea, bad end route for her. Like, she has a thing where it's like, she's on a bad end route, and then she has an obviously, like, screenshot a good end route that you will probably go on, right?
Right.
So you pick the bad end route. When you get to the final thing you have to do of the bad end route, you don't do it as though you were doing the good ending route, but then you stay on the bad ending route and ask for your happy ending for the bad end route person. And the bad end route person's like, no, fuck you, kill yourself. And then you do.
So it's
amazing.
Like, that's kind of like how like the worst ending you can get in Mass Effect 3 requires you to go out of your way to do the worst possible combination of Renegade and
Yes.
Paragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically exactly that. Like, you played this character in a way that is completely incoherent.
Yeah.
You did it wrong. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
These are completely, like, the article describes it as being evil but doing bad at it.
Yeah, you're basically the world's most incompetent Nazi in that playthrough.
Great. Fantastic.
So yeah, 34 players have unlocked that ending total.
That's so funny.
Because also, like, you have to do, like, 50 plus hours of video game to see that ending.
Yeah.
And it's like a 50 plus hours of video game that basically no one is going to do.
That feels like
you do that because you have a vested interest in not liking Lae'zel.
it feels like one of those things where, like, realistically, while you're going on this path, the game is like falling apart because the programmers didn't think anyone would do this.
But that's the thing, Ben, is they did think people would do it because they voice acted and, like, motion captured entire cutscenes for this. They assumed that, like, they were like, no, okay, someone's gonna do it. And they fucking
Somebody
did it.
is gonna be a freak and do it, yes.
There was literally a funny thing where, like, the example of things that, like, Baldur's Gate 3 devs didn't account for is that, like, there was a dev recently who was like, yeah, no, I'm sorry there was no, like, player romance for if you play the Dark Urge and you want to get with Enver Gortash, who's, like, one of the later game antagonists.
Yeah.
When we were writing the game, we kind of assumed he was going to be, like, a nasty 80-year-old man, and then we made him, like, some, like, greasy 40-something Lothario kind of guy. And just, like, when he was making the game, we just didn't think until we saw the character design that people were gonna want to fuck him, and then we saw the character design and we went, shit.
Too late.
Fuck, beans.
Damn it.
Yeah, very funny.
Next, Amazon's Like a Dragon Yakuza TV show cast revealed they have never played the games. We wanted to do our own version.
This has been framed somewhat controversially, but this makes sense to me.
It does make sense, but it's also like... I think part of it was like the initial reading of the title. It ended up getting edited, but they had implied that some of the writing crew also had never played a Yakuza game.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, that's going to be a problem. But like, their reasoning is basically like, well, the cast is so distinct that they don't want it to influence like the actors, which I get.
I get that, sure.
Well, especially considering like for Yakuza games, you're talking about a lot of, like, maybe not for Yakuza 1, like the PS2 era shit, but like especially if you do anything from like later Yakuza games, you're talking about a lot of characters that are played by screen actors doing screen actor performances.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like you are taking a risk by doing this. But I feel like it's not a game breaker, you know?
I'm just saying, I don't think Walton Goggins played Fallout. Maybe he did.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
There you go.
Literally, one of the interviews with him after that show came out, he's like, I had no idea that the War Never Changes thing was an iconic line. I'm glad to hear that I nailed it, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad everyone thinks I nailed it. I had no idea.
I think the difference between like Fallout and this is that in Fallout, they're playing unique characters, right? Like, Walton Goggins is not playing, like, Karen from Fallout 3, right?
Right.
So, like, there's the difference there is that, like, he's not... They're all their own unique characters. But, like, for this, I'm a little bit more hesitant because, like, he's playing Kiryu. And Kiryu has a very distinct, very unique personality and a unique approach to things.
But, I mean, that's... No, in that case, that falls on the writer and the director, right? Like, the director should be like, yeah, like, this character is like this, right? It shouldn't be like, go play the video. Like, yeah, you can play the video game for, like, homework, but if you're trying to, like, do a different interpretation of Yakuza, like, to make it your own thing. Because, like, here's the thing. The thing I always say is this. Video games aren't going anywhere. If you want your version of like Kiryu and Majima and all of them, the video games are all on Steam now. Just go do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and these guys are like, we want to make something different. We want to make our own thing. It's like, okay, that's fair. Maybe it'll be dog shit. Who knows?
Yeah, I think for me personally, the stakes have never been higher because One Piece and Fallout were good.
Well, here's the thing. On the same vein, like, if you told me, no, Emily or I'd never fucking watch One Piece, I'd be like, yeah, no, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
She got that. She nailed that character. She didn't need to watch One Piece. I would not be shocked if she didn't watch One Piece. It seems like she has plenty of better things to do than watch fucking 1,000-episode anime. You know,
Right?
But like, and obviously, well, I think the guy playing Monkey D. Luffy probably right.
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
He is actually a One Piece fan.
Yeah.
He notably cried when he got to meet Oda for the first time.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I think it's completely reasonable to go like, well, no, we're doing our own thing. It is kind of I agree with Sarah's point where it's like, if the performances aren't intelligible without them having played the source material, that is because the writer and the director didn't do their job.
Yeah. The onus of actually understanding what Yakuza is about, like the theming and like the presentation of the games, is on the writers and the directors for sure.
Right.
Like, way more on that.
Which is like why Fallout and One Piece are good, is because like even though like Walton Goggins and fucking Ella Purnell have never played a Fallout game, and even if like the whole cast of One Piece had never interacted with One Piece, the people who made those shows are fans of them and do understand them, and that's why they turned out good. That's all that matters. Like nothing else matters. Like as long as you have a grasp of what your source material is about and is trying to do and say, like, you'll be fine. Yeah. Well,
because like, I forget who brought it up in The Gorge, but like, it's one of the things with like the Witcher show, right? Where like, Henry Cavill is too much of a Witcher fan, and he played Geralt really like video game Geralt, who is not played very much like book Geralt, even though they're doing book Geralt stuff, because he's like significantly earlier. Right, but he plays him like video game Geralt, who's way cooler and like gruffer. Yeah, and it's like, you know, I think it's definitely reasonable to go like, like I'm just gonna trust that my writer and director will steer me correctly on capturing the essence of the character.
We have to see a real trailer to put any actual fears to rest.
I'm just concerned because of the way it was originally written. I'm wondering if they deliberately went back and went, okay, no, we were sorry. We were specifically meaning cast, like, not the crew. I just worry, what if that was just to hide the fact that the director also has, like, released too?
Maybe.
Because then we might be in trouble.
But we'll see.
Like I said, it's way more on the writers and the director to understand the tone of Yakuza to make the series successful, rather than the actors. But, I don't know. I think it wouldn't hurt if the actors had an idea of what these characters are like.
Right.
But, you know, maybe they don't play a 100-hour RPG. Maybe they watch a couple cutscenes though or something. I don't know.
I think
to be fair, that movie exists since the Takeshi Miike Like a Dragon movie.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's certainly an interesting movie. I would not say that in my having watched like half of it or whatever, that it conveys in any way the events or characters of Yakuza 1 in a way that is even remotely intelligible.
I think what they should do is they should show the actor who's playing Majima, they should show him the scene from the movie where he's standing half hidden by the wall and he says, "Kiryu-chan, isn't it time we got serious?" But his eye patch is the exposed eye. I think you show him that and you say, "This is Majima."
Yeah.
I also, to be fair, my favorite scene from that movie that I did watch that, like, you do have to find the energy for if you do a Dragon movie in 2024, is the bit where Goro Majima's trying to shake this guy down for information, and he's clearly like, he tries to demand a ton of money or whatever, and Goro Majima is just like fucking slamming his foot in the locker door or whatever. But as the scene goes on, it becomes very clear that getting beat up for the information is what the guy is into, because he keeps tenderly putting his foot back in the way of the locker door so that Majima will slam it again.
Yeah. That and the scene where Majima's talking to Haruka and she's like, if you hurt Uncle Kaz, I'll kill you. And he very genuinely goes, "That's pretty scary."
Like, here's the thing. I don't think Takeshi Miike's Like a Dragon movie is at all intelligible as an adaptation of that movie, but he gets the vibes right.
He gets the vibes perfectly. The movie has a bit where Kiryu's getting beaten up at the climax, and he drinks a Staminan.
Yeah.
I love the fact that, like, the B plot of the movie, where it is about two insane dudes holding an entire bank hostage, feels like a sub-story that never actually fucking happened.
Yeah.
It's the one. This didn't exist in that game.
Because at no point do Kiryu or Majima ever interact with those people.
No.
Okay, I mean, yeah, so...
Takeshi Miike's You Like a Dragon is the Twin Peaks The Return of Yakuza movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for making me...
I don't know if it's good. It's definitely unintelligible, but it does have the vibe.
And it leaves an emotional impact
That's right.
some sort.
It's not a good movie, but you will be talking about scenes and how they made you feel maybe more than any other movie you've ever watched.
Absolutely.
You will feel very positively about this thing you don't like. That's Fallout 4!
That's so true.
I'm hoping whenever you finally get to Return, that is probably how you will come away from Return. Is I have a lot of positive, strange feelings about this thing that I think is bad.
I can't wait for the fucking Twin Peaks: The Return episode.
Once
it's going to be a bloodbath.
Once I can convince Melissa to actually sit down and watch Firewalk with me and The Return, we'll get back to that.
Okay, that's
hopefully,
fair.
honestly, hopefully it won't be that much of a bloodbath. I think time and further rewatching and further pondering have cooled me on it a bit. So it's going to be less. Here's the thing. I have settled on. I don't think Twin Peaks: The Return is good. I think it's a bad thing that I enjoy.
That's correct. Fallout 4. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like Baki.
Like Baki? Yeah, there you go.
You know, it's unintelligible. It's sometimes really stupid. It's insanely misogynist.
That's correct.
If we do this, I need to make absolutely sure that I have not rewatched any of it, so I can go like, what the fuck are you three talking about?
That's correct. Those are the vibes.
Because like I haven't seen The Return since it came out.
Right.
It's all gone, and it is a memory hole in my head now.
Sure.
So I really want to keep that going right up until the episode.
Yeah.
I feel like when we do that, what'll happen is we'll be talking about it, and Oates will just be like, oh, "That's right."
Yeah.
And then we'll see, like, it'll be a shot of her just like clutching her head as like memories flood back into her brain.
Oh, see, I rewatched most of it when Sarah was watching through it, and already I can tell you for free that like I'm not capable of doing a plot summary of Twin Peaks: The Return.
God,
no. That season of TV is insanely disjointed.
That's correct. Cause like you can do a plot, you can do like a beat for beat plot like summary of Twin Peaks: The Return. It does not encapsulate even a 10th of like what's actually going on.
It's like trying to spoil, like how you can't spoil JoJo because trying to describe what happens in JoJo makes you sound like a crazy person.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like you could sum up the entirety of the plot movement of Twin Peaks: The Return, a like 14-hour TV show, in like maybe 2 or 3 sentences.
Sure.
But the process that it takes to get there is defies description or ability to remember.
Yes.
Yeah, just like
And it's not that it's like it doesn't work or that it does, or it's like illogical. It's just that it's like a Rube Goldberg contraption.
Yeah, just like Yakuza 3 or the Takeshi Miike movie.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay, we have one more article.
Okay.
Chess player suspended after allegedly poisoning her rival.
I saw this.
Chess drama is the best drama.
Finally, the sport of kings is interesting again.
That's right. Other than Vibrator Gate, which was my favorite chess drama.
This feels like a fucking Columbo episode.
After Ben's done summarizing this news article for me, you have to tell me about Vibrator Gate. I have no idea.
You don't know? Okay. Let's do. I get to tell them about Vibrator Gate. No.
Yes. Okay. Let me just explain what this poisoning actually was.
Please.
So the article sums up an incident in which Amina Abakarova, a Russian chess player, is accused of poisoning her rival. Quote, security camera footage shows the incident where Abakarova calmly walked over to the board where the other player was supposed to appear 20 minutes later. It is reported that she'd previously asked if cameras were in operation and been told they weren't. She then smeared what is said to be potentially deadly mercury from a thermometer.
Oh my god.
Osmanova said she began feeling unwell 30 minutes later, complaining of nausea and dizziness, prompting an immediate call for medical assistance. Doctors eventually concluded that poisoning was a likely cause. So she just smeared mercury over her opponent's pieces.
Chinese court intrigue is alive and well in the year of 2024.
That's amazing!
Astounding.
And
my
you
God.
you don't get this in like poker.
No, it's
This
just
shit-
chess.
This shit don't happen in Magic the Gathering. You just get a guy completely like who points out fat guy's pants falling down.
Yeah.
They
A
finally,
real hero.
they finally unbanned him, by
Oh,
the way.
thank God.
This is
Return
like
of the King.
this is, I think, like the anime plot, like the chess tournament anime plot line. I was going, I can't beat them. What can I do? I know what I must do.
I know what I have to do. I have to poison her.
It's so funny. It's so funny to be a professional chess player to go, well, I know I can't beat her legitimately, so I just have to kill her.
Yeah.
You know.
Very
I think
funny.
Street Fighter players are familiar with this emotion.
Yeah.
That should have been a plot point in the Queen's Gambit.
This
Yeah.
should have been a
She-
plot point.
Yeah.
This should have been the reason why Smash Brothers Melee is no longer allowed in tournaments.
She literally in the confession says that she just wanted to knock her opponent out of the tournament, admitting personal hostility towards Osmanova.
That's amazing.
That's true haterdom right there.
That is just true hate.
We haven't seen this since the fucking 80s when that one chick broke the other chick's legs at the Olympics.
That was the 90s, Ben.
Oh, was it the 90s? I thought it was early,
Yeah.
like late 80s.
Yes, Tanya Harding is the 90s. Absolutely. Very important.
That confession
She's
is
an
the
icon.
bit where the shonen protagonist in this chess anime goes, you could have taken her out of the tournament by just being better than her at chess.
Yeah.
But okay, you have to tell me about vibrating.
Yes.
Okay, I have to tell you about
Okay,
the...
okay.
Okay, so it's about specifically vibrating anal beads. So...
We're off to a promising start. Continue.
to an extreme. So this all started because a kid, a chess prodigy in finger quotes. I think he's an asshole. I have to make sure I get his name right. Is it Hans Niemann? Yeah, Hans Niemann is a chess prodigy who was recently, this happened back in 2021, 2022. Hans Niemann was recently banned from chess.com for cheating, right? And he sued chess.com, proving that he only cheated some of the time. So, he's still banned. But at a chess tournament, he beat the 5-time world champion of chess, Magnus Carlsen, who's like the real fucking deal, beat him in chess, and he's already got this cheater pole hanging over him. So the rumor that got started, and there's no way to prove it or disprove it that I'm aware of. I don't think it was ever disproven, but it was also never proven. I'm choosing to believe it's real because it's great, and I think that Neiman is an asshole. The rumor is that Neiman was wearing vibrating anal beads that were controlled remotely so that somebody in another room could be on a computer watching his game, right? And giving him, like, the next move he should take based off of a computer, right? Because, like, computers
With
can...
Morse code signals,
Yeah. And so they would use the vibration function to signal the next move he should take. And it was this huge controversy at this chess tournament, right? And, like, of course, Neiman, like, vehemently denies it. And, like, I don't know if Carlsen accused him of it. I think Carlsen accused him of cheating. And that's how it all got started. But yeah, no. It was this huge fucking kerfuffle. I believe it. I'm sorry. I think it could be true because, like, it's such an insane thing. And chess is an insane sport. So, yes. Yes.
The only reason I'm not willing to believe that it's true is because there, like, and I realize people's preferences might be different or whatever. There's no way Neiman has vibrating anal beads in for the entirety of a duration of a chess match and does not at some point visibly orgasm. Like, I'm sorry, it's not happening.
I mean, if you want to beat Magnus Carlsen at fucking chess, you've got to keep that ball in.
The business.
Right?
This is the worst way you can discover you have one of several kinks related to
Saturn. No, I think Saturn at that level, it is all business, and he can just shut that part of his brain down.
That's
He's
true.
literally screaming at his prostate, ain't got time for that, Goku.
No, here's the thing. I don't think it's that. I think for that to be true, pulling off this heist also has to be... Like, he finishes, he wins, he gets in his car, and immediately just violently comes. Like I said.
He just like he sits down, like, before he gets on stage, whatever. You just see him just like every muscle in his body clenching as his boner decreases. Like, he just wills it down.
This is so close to being a Baki plotline. It just has to be about, like, actually fighting a guy instead of chess.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, my friend in the stands is transmitting, like, strategy tips to my remote-controlled anal beads, but I have to try really hard not to come so I can actually still win the fight.
I agree with that, Tanner. I thought you were also referring to a guy who can just shut down his boner. Which feels like a Baki thing.
That is, in fact, if you want to be in the top, if you want to be a contender in Baki, you have to be able to do that. Yujiro Hanma can absolutely turn off his boner.
Just turn his boner off instantly. Yeah.
I want to say one more final thing about the mercury poisoning thing.
Yes, please.
I don't know if this is because chess is insane or if it's Russia. Abakarova is only temporarily suspended from Russian chess tournaments.
No, the thing is, this is actually completely normal in Russian chess tournaments. It's just a faux pas if you get caught.
Yeah. Just don't get caught.
She is facing up to 3 years in jail, but potentially when she gets out, she can go play chess again.
She served her time.
Well, yeah, we believe in rehabilitation as things like prison shit here. You know, if you could look, here's the thing: it was attempted murder, so really no one got hurt.
Listen, her opponent is fine. She's gonna do her time, and when she comes out, she just all you gotta do to keep playing chess is don't poison anybody again.
I think better about hiding.
I think there is a system of rehabilitation in place, and I think there's also just saying, hey, you can't play chess here anymore.
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think it'll be really funny when she gets out of jail and she goes back to playing chess, and for like the first couple of years, everyone she plays against conspicuously is only wearing nitrile gloves when they play against her.
Yeah. I just love the idea of, like, 9 years later, she finally gets this rematch, and she doesn't show up, and everyone's kind of like, well, what the hell happened? And they go to check on her in her room, and she's been mercury poisoned.
I would also love the idea she comes back however many years later, gets her rematch, and wins very handily because she's a better chess player.
She learned in prison.
Yeah, she just played chess in prison.
I had nothing but time, and you know what's? And the thing is, they just if I tell them, I want to stay in my cell all day and play chess against myself, they just let you do that in European prison.
Turns out that's a perfectly fine way to kill time in prison. Yeah, absolutely.
Is how you say revenge. Dish served cold.
Cold like mercury.
Like mercury in Russia.
She goes to jail for like 3+ years and learns that fake like 3-dimensional chess they invented in that bit of Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. Or the fake 3-dimensional chess they also play on Star Trek The Next
Generation. Yeah, that episode. She's just doing that episode where Riker was playing chess in prison against the Ferengi. She's just playing chess with a guard, like, between the cell bars.
Oh my god, yes.
She comes out with knuckle tattoos that just say chessboard. BORD.
CHES.
Chessboard. Oh, great. Fuck
You know,
me.
why isn't there a Venture Brothers character whose name is the Chess Broad?
No, that's fucking. She's the second in command to fucking
Molotov?
Bangkok. Because it's that fucking song.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
One Night in Bangkok.
Yep.
The chess broad.
Oh my god. Amazing.
Rusty Venture's like, yeah, I went to the show with everything but Yul Brynner. Conspicuously absent. He was on the guest list and everything, just didn't show.
Oh my god.
Okay. Fuck me.
All right.
It's been a good episode.
It's been a great episode.
It hasn't been an unrelenting parade of misery.
I know. Imagine. See what happens when we have good things instead of bad things.
How nice. Oh, fuck. Okay.
All right, that'll do it for us. Thank you to Visager for using Background Music. You can follow us all on our social medias. Email us at thegorgepodcast.gmail.com. Patreon.com/thegorge. Discord, all that stuff. Hey, we're like we kind of mentioned, we're gonna stream FF9 at some point soon.
At some point.
And then when we finish that, we're gonna do the fucking Ace Attorney investigation.
Control. Oh yeah, that too.
Oh yeah, we'll slot
thing.
control after Ace Attorney investigation.
We have to steal the Gigaboots flop swap technology and have people donate to switch between control and Ace Attorney investigation.
I love that idea. Oh god. What have we got?
I
mean,
Fuck Randy Pitchford.
Fuck Randy Pitchford.
Fuck Randy Pitchford.
He's so greasy. We hate him, folks.
This might be the only time in this segment we have been kicking someone while they're down. However, it's Randy Pitchford.
Just the fucking four of us doing the fucking JoJo stomp.
I hate him so much. I can't stand him.
Sucks.
He sucks. He ruins everything. He's just like an interminably bad person.
I can't wait.
He's really obnoxious.
I can't wait for H-Bomber Guy to just completely roast him like Tommy
Oh
Talarico.
god, I dream of H-Bomber Guy destroying Randy Pitchford when he does Tommy Talarico.
H-Bomber Guy can't do a Randy Pitchford video because it would be 23 hours long.
Yeah, no, he'd be here all day.
You know if you start digging.
Oh, for sure.
You're gonna find out that he killed the guy.
Like, no, because I mean, like, he stole bonuses from the Borderlands 3 guys.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's the whole fucking nasty porn on a fucking flash
drive that he lost.
Medieval Times parking lot.
And his every attempt to explain the contents of it made him sound even more like a criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the extremely pathetic attempt to make Battleborn into Overwatch by basically creating the Battleborn Rule 34 subreddit because he wanted them that porn heat that Overwatch had, but none of those character designs had any sauce, so of course that was never going to happen. Also, Battleborn was a bad video game.
Like don't get me wrong, there's like one or two Battleborn designs that I think are cute. But it's really hard to do that Overwatch heat when everyone either has a bad character design and or has the most insane body proportions you've seen in your
Yeah.
It's just that we could be here all night. The reason Overwatch porn works is because everybody has mostly congruent body proportions. Anyways, the point is there's just so much weird and pathetic and the whole. The Alien game fiasco is weird and pathetic and sad. I hate Randy to death. The only one of the reasons I can't stand rewatching that, as much as I love the No Clip documentary about Half-Life, I don't rewatch it that often like I do other good videos, because it's got Randy Pitchford in it, right?
Yeah, because Gearbox did the PS2 ports for those games, I believe.
They also did
the spin-offs.
They also did one of the two spin-offs. They might have done both of them.
I think they just did Blue Shift.
I think they just didn't push it.
Oh, you're telling me Randy Pitchford made the one where he plays a cop? Crazy.
Yeah, fucking stunner.
Oh yes, when I watched Civi's videos on that, and he goes on a tangent about how much he hates Randy Pitchford.
Oh, he hates Randy Pitchford. You could literally listen to him talk all day. It's great.
Randy Pitchford is definitely a guy who, if you do H. Bomber Guy level digging on him, you will find out he has like that one RFK Jr. story where he hit a baby bear with a car and then like threw it in the park with a loose bicycle as to pretend that someone had run over an entire bear cub with a bike, killing it.
Yeah. Completely insane shit.
You're gonna find out like the reason that he was able to steal all the money from the Alien game is like because of like this crazy amount of dirt he was blackmailing someone with, like committing federal crimes.
He's so greasy. I hate Randy Pitchford to death, and the Borderlands movie bombing and him being directly involved in it couldn't have happened to a worse man. I'm so happy. So yeah.
He deserves everything he got out of the Borderlands movie.
You'll notice that Randy Pitchford's name does not have any W's in it.
No. Also, very funny, he just keeps posting through it on Twitter. He's posting through Borderlands flopping in the most pathetic way ever. He's like, "Oh, I thought it was good." Well, nobody cares what you think, Randy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I do think it's very funny. And, like, it is obviously they're just going to do it anyway because they frequently sell the game for this price. I do, though, think it's very funny they put up a Steam sale for Borderlands franchise. Like, yeah, it's 91% off. 1% off for every percent it didn't get on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Well, yeah, no, fuck Randy Pitchford.
Yep. Fuck him. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.